Hello, this is episode 36. Is it day 4 of me starting over again, basically, after like a week and a half off of eating crap. I'm almost down to the weight I got down to before again. I'm at 195 or 194 this morning, and I think I got to 193 before. Remember, I started at 210. And then before I did that initial start, I'd been doing the carnivore sporadically. Like I did it for like a week once, and then I did it because I initially was like 215, 220. Like I was wearing size 36 pants, and when I started this, I was wearing size 34. I like had to buy more pants. So that was before I started the like strict, carnivore for a long term. So hopefully I get down another 10 pounds or so, and I need to buy more pants again. These ones are getting kind of loose, but not enough to like buy new ones yet. Well, I'll start with last night. I got those chuck eye steaks. They were cheap. I think it was like $7 they were for like two, and they were pretty like almost an inch thick. I had one last night, and I'll have one tonight for dinner, and then I made liver too. So I had liver last night with that, and then I had liver for breakfast, liver for lunch, and then I got some more liver, which I'll probably have for breakfast tomorrow, still left over. I cooked it all because it was like one of those use today or freeze ones, discounted. And I'll have the other steak tonight. Pretty good. Only thing I have to say about the liver, sometimes there's like where there's veins in them or whatever they are, arteries. You kind of like you gotta like pull those out, so it's kind of gross. They're like chewy. Other than that, it tastes pretty good, but you can't eat too much of it. Like I had like a big piece today and I didn't finish it, but the one I had for breakfast was smaller and I finished that. It's pretty rich. But those chuck eye steaks, those were delicious. Like looked them up and they're like the poor man's ribeye or something. Basically, you salt them a bunch, and then you put them in the fridge for like 1 to 8 hours, uncovered. And that, I don't know what that does, something like tenderizes or pulls the juices out or something. Then you sear it in a skillet, on each side, like 3 minutes on each side. And then you put it in the oven for like 5 minutes at 450. Then you're supposed to bring it out, put it like on a rack, so like I guess the air can go around it or something, and let it sit for another 5 minutes. I did all that. And it was delicious. It was super tender. Like it was really good. And like the same size ribeye would have been like $15 or something for one. I got 2 for $7, so I'll start getting those. I went to the store today to look for. I looked online and there was a meat store. Went there. They didn't have shit. No brains, some liver, but none of it was grass fed. They really didn't have that much of a selection unless you were just looking for regular meat. So I don't know. I'm going to look online this weekend and research a place where I could go, where I could actually go to the farm and pick out stuff and see what they got. Or there's one called Eichmann's. It's like a meat processing place, but I don't know if they'll have grass fed anything. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I tried cutting out coffee this morning. Fuck that. I could not function this morning. Like the last 2 nights I've maybe got like 5 hours sleep, maybe less, each. So 10 hours total. But so I haven't slept great, but it's enough. Like, but this morning I don't know if it had to be because of the coffee, but I was like out of it. Like I was not functioning. So after I finally got coffee, and then I got another one later in the day too. And the one in the morning just got me functioning again. And the one I had in the afternoon, I was like, woo, feeling good. So I'm wondering when I initially started this and I was still drinking coffee, if my crazy energy was from coffee. Because I was drinking it then and I remember almost like, woo, feeling really good. And now coffee never did that to me when I'm not on the carnivore. So like I never felt like that. So I wonder if it's just my body's clearing out and it like caffeine's actually affecting me, you know? So I'm not going to quit it just yet. I'm going to wait till I can breathe and you know, that kind of stuff first, because I was not a functioning person this morning. And if it gives me that much energy and I don't have that energy, I'd rather have it and have coffee. And so I'm going to go for a while before I cut that out, because it didn't work this morning. What else did I want to say? I was listening to a little more of the book on the vegetarian myth today. There's a lot of good stuff in that. Like, she's sort of a little bit over the top with some of her stuff, but like just learning about the agribusiness and like how wheat works and Monsanto and Cargill, like the monocrop grains are like terrible. Just the way we subsidize them and everything, like her point was like they're making the world, basically we make it so cheap that, well, and then we ship it over to like, you know, third world countries to where basically they might have been farming even though they were poor, they were food, and then we make it so they can't even afford to farm anymore. So basically, you know, they promote it as like it's feeding the world, and they're actually making the world starve. One, because it's making it so the population can explode, because you can feed all these people with it, but there's too much and it's non-nutritious. So, and then eventually it destroys the environment. So, and it's all oil-based, you know, fossil fuels, because the fertilizers. So it's like non-sustainable. It's destroying everything. And basically the farmers, it costs more to make corn than they can sell it for. And then it's subsidized by the government. So it's crazy. It's like, and so they give them enough money, subsidize them so they can get by. They're not going to get rich. So they're basically almost poor, but they can't afford not to do it. And the times when they do have like a big surplus, the price goes down, so they're actually poor. You know, like when it's they make more money when like a bad year because the corn price goes up. It's crazy. It's like it's terrible economics. But the big agribusiness, the big grain sellers control it, monopolize it, so it's like I don't know, it's crazy. I know I'll have to go like study it more and like do a good episode on that. Basically, like the worst thing you could do for the environment is grains, corn, wheat, soybeans. They're ruining everything. They're terrible for economics, for poor people, for everything. I don't know. Cows are the way to go, man. And the only bad thing about cows is when they're doing grain fed, when they're using all those soybeans and wheat and corn. That's what's effing that up. You know, you wouldn't even have factory farming if it wasn't for excess corn and grains. It wouldn't even exist. It's just a way they were figured out to use all the excess they have, because they make way too much of it. What else? I think that's it. It's the weekend. It's Friday. Yeah, that's all I got for now. Hopefully I can find some better organ meats, some grass-fed stuff for cheap, and maybe I can talk about that on Monday. All right. Thank you.